Logos. They are historical. They are offensive. They are overrated. They are that. In the end, logos are just symbols. Something that is meant to be a rallying symbol, or a symbol of a dark age. Or they can be this. Play the intro. This video is going to be a little different. This, I guess, is the first video where I incorporate all 5 North American sports into one video. Yay. Now where was I? Oh yeah, logos. Logos are part of society. For example, St. Louis, my hometown. Anytime I go anywhere around St. Louis, I'll see something with the Blues, Cardinals, or City logo on it. Whether it's a shirt, a hat, a jersey, a flag on a house, a sticker on a car, an LED sign at a restaurant, you're going to find a logo of a sports team almost anywhere. And that's a good thing. It shows that your city, state, province, or whatever has pride in your teams. So where am I going with this? What I'm saying is that a logo can be subjective. It doesn't matter if the logo has been around for a century or was introduced this season. There will be people who like a logo and people who hate a logo. What I'm saying is, logos are a symbol, but that doesn't mean all logos are created equally. In the 5 major sports, logos differ, but the NHL and NFL succeed at what MLB, MLS, and NBA fail at: create logos with solid designs. In the NHL, only 6 teams have word marks with their logos. Hockey logos have evolved from when they were only a letter. Hockey has some great logos, some bad logos, some logos that have been used for way too long, and some once reviled, now beloved. In the NFL, that number is half, with only 3 teams having a word mark in their logo. Logos in the NFL have been a mix of classic and modern symbols. Some logos like the Green Bay Packers and San Francisco 49ers have stood through the test of time. One thing the NHL and NFL have in common is a letter integrated into the design. It may be a hidden or visible letter like the Calgary Flames, Atlanta Falcons, Seattle Kraken, Vegas Golden Knights, and Philadelphia Eagles. Or the letter is the main element, like the Montreal Canadiens, Dallas Stars, Kansas City Chiefs, Green Bay Packers, and New York Giants. Most of these designs are straightforward, but aren't bogged down by an overbearing word mark or a typography stating the city and team name. I did say there are teams guilty of using word marks. The Washington Capitals, New York Rangers, New York Jets, and Toronto Maple Leafs all featured the full name, while the Florida Panthers, Edmonton Oilers, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Las Vegas Raiders feature one or the other. But all designs, minus Florida, have the excuse of being a historically old logo or a tweaked design of an older logo. Many fans would be outraged if the word mark was removed from these logos. Except Florida. Bring back the jumping cat. And maybe the Washington Capitals as well. Major League Baseball is another example of classic and modern, but they get it wrong. Don't even get me started on cap logos. Those are meant to be a letter or letters. Except for the Orioles and Blue Jays. Word marks are part of the fabric of baseball. Most teams have word marks on at least one jersey. There are some teams like the St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago Cubs, and Cincinnati Reds who have alternate logos which are better than their current logo. Even some of the best logos in baseball, like the New York Mets and New York Yankees, are infected with the word mark. Some teams are just lazy. The Los Angeles Dodgers and San Francisco Giants just use a word mark in a baseball and that's the logo. Other teams like the Chicago White Sox, Detroit Tigers, Pittsburgh Pirates, San Diego Padres, and a few others just use the cap logo. Now there are some of you asking if there are any exceptions to the word mark handicap, and the answer is yes. The Baltimore Orioles, Cleveland Guardians, Kansas City Royals, and Toronto Blue Jays have logos that aren't anchored down by an overbearing word mark. When the Guardians revealed their new logos, I like how they made their logo simple. If only the rest of baseball followed suit. Major League Soccer is plagued by another factor: Europeanization. This is a topic for another video. Yes, Major League Soccer is a professional organization. However, it feels like they are trying to be too European. Put this formula: Euro-style names equals Euro-style logos. It's why we have names like St. Louis City SC, Sporting Kansas City, Toronto FC, Philadelphia Union, Inter Miami CF, and Real Salt Lake, because they remind us that it's real. Since I'm counting word marks, the only MLS logos without word marks are the aforementioned Real Salt Lake, Chicago Fire, and the Portland Timbers. I could go on, but that would drag this video longer, so let's move on. The NBA is a rise and fall story with logos. Many teams had great logos, but they were replaced with seals and minimalist designs. Let's set the scene. It's 2004. You're playing NBA 2K. You go to play a game and select teams. So many great NBA logos. The Atlanta Hawk holding the ball, the Flaming Horse for the Pistons, same Grizzlies logo from Vancouver, the Timber Tree Timberwolves logo, an actual wizard for Washington, Hugo the Hornet for New Orleans, and the greatest basketball logo of all time, the dribbling red and purple Toronto Raptors logo. Sure, they were also plagued with word marks, but with a good design, it isn't that big of a deal. But today, none of those designs are present. The Hawks went from a soaring hawk to a bat signal. The Detroit Pistons went to a logo with a basketball and the city and team name. The Grizzlies turned blue with an emotionless bear. The Timberwolves went for a howling wolf, which is decent, but not when it replaces a solid logo. I don't even know what this is supposed to be for the Wizards. The Hornets, who play in Charlotte, replaced Hugo with a bug handicapped by a word mark featuring the team name. And the Raptors. Even as purple was retired, they still at least had the iconic Raptor in red and black. Until 2015. The Raptor was replaced with a slashed basketball and the city and team name. The NBA is the worst because it's supposed to be a league catering to younger audiences who feed off nostalgic designs and solid logos. Wait, that's just me? That's not the point. The point is, you think they would have designs that match that mindset, but nope. The NBA has chosen to go for either a small logo and a corporate and lifeless seal featuring the city and team name, or just a minimal design with no connection or passion. One recent example is the Utah Jazz. From the late 90s to 2016, the Jazz had the mountains with the saxophone J, which was a beloved design. Then they replaced it with a basketball music note, bringing them back to the original logo. And then they minimalized it. That logo, but one-toned. It's a recurring trend with NBA logos. Hopefully the expansion teams in Las Vegas and Seattle get it right with their logos. By the way, bring back the Sonics. While it seems like I'm clamoring for change, it isn't always the case. Classic logos like the St. Louis Blues and Kansas City Chiefs have remained untouched besides either tweaks or color changes. And they're examples of great logos. While the St. Louis Cardinals have a great logo anchored with an overbearing word mark, St. Louis City SC is stuck in a trend that consumes most, if not all, of Major League Soccer, and the Toronto Raptors are minimalized to a more corporate design. As I said earlier, logos are subjective. What logos I may like and hate, someone else may think the opposite. Just leave this video knowing that logos are a double-edged sword. There are good designs, there are bad designs, but they are all part of our sports experience. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I'll see you in the next video.